and welcome to The Leap. We're so excited. Sameka and I are so excited once again. We have an incredible guest joining us this week. Her name is SHAYZON. I mean, if you just look at her, she is beautiful. She is known as the fashion mixologist. And really all you have to do is visit her website to see why. I mean, she's got some gorgeous stuff on. She's a style and beauty expert, and she is host of her show, The Skinny. And she's also a television personality, and she has worked for CNN, ABC, and other major networks. She's also done numerous magazine covers, guys. SHAYZON, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We're so glad to have you here on The Leap. And, you know, one of the things that we really enjoy about our guests on The Leap is that they bring such a diverse background. You know, everyone is doing their own thing. They found their own niche and their own area of expertise. So we really appreciate you being here and giving us a different perspective. You know,
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. So SHAYZON, I know that you have a number of roles that you are proud of as a mom, you know, a wife, a businesswoman. Tell us about your role as a fashion and beauty expert.
As a fashion and beauty expert, well, that comes after being in the industry for quite some time. So for more than 20 years. So that's something that was definitely a goal of mine at the very beginning as a hair and makeup artist many, many years ago. And that evolves during those years. I've had an award-winning company in Atlanta for 5 years where we dealt with high-end weddings. So we had artists that we covered the entire bridal party, and we traveled to do it. We had artists that traveled with us, and we hair and makeup, and we worked with the brides from the very beginning of when they had their journey started to the very end. So that was like on the business side of you know, owning a company, getting everything up and running, having a lease to deal with, having to hire people, having to train people, and to be recognized within the industry and then awarded for it was really great, because that happened within the first year of the company, which is the time that you're most like pulling your hair out, you know. So I remember doing the Oprah calls it the ugly cry. when we actually found out about the award that we were going to be receiving. And so that's one part of it that happened along the way. Then you evolve to knowing so much, working with major companies, and just research and knowledge. For me, I don't have a ton of degrees and names behind me. It's like hard knocks, trial and error, teach yourself, practice, 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 striving for excellence in everything that I do. And I think there's probably, because of not having so many degrees behind me and knowing that I have to teach myself, I probably dug even harder and wanting to do my best and not ever have that be a point of conversation, you know, where it's like, oh, well, this is happening probably because she doesn't have this, that, or whatever. It just never even became a part of any question. You know, I had training as a cosmetologist. I'm licensed in multiple states as a master cosmetologist in Georgia. And so it's, you know, pushing yourself and knowing that these are goals and knowing enough about your goal and the journey of your goal so that you know the steps to take. It's all about being strategic. It's all about being professional. And so with your work ethics, which is one thing that I definitely want to share, your work ethic speaks so highly for you. Your work speaks for you when you're not around. So it's so important to make sure that you are treating every client like I do. Many celebrities, I've worked with royalty, I've worked with politicians, so many people, but I've always had this thing from the very beginning that it doesn't matter if you also have a bunch of different titles behind your name or you're my neighbor. You're going to get the same treatment across the board. So it's not like, oh, you treat celebrities better or you treat royalty better. Everybody, for me, in my book, got the same treatment across the board, which was a treatment of excellence. And then that pays off where you learn more, you have more knowledge, more experience, and then you can start coining the expertise title.
Wow.
So it's been a colorful experience.
So one that has made you well equipped for where you are today. So it sounds like it's truly been a journey for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
the person, it doesn't matter the individual, whether celebrity or neighbor, everyone is still getting that excellent treatment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And if people usually say, oh, it's celebrity treatment, well, for me, everybody gets celebrity treatment then.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? There's a standard of care that everyone wants. It doesn't matter what kind of service that you're in. Everyone wants to be treated fairly and with respect, and they want to receive excellent service. So, you know, that's like a across the board standard of care. And that's wonderful that you have been able to provide that as a service with your name attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things too that everyone wants to know that they're seen.
Absolutely.
You can have someone that comes and sits down, you know, in the director's chair or the, you know, when we're on set or whatever it may be, celebrity or not. Again, the important thing is that that individual, regardless of accolades and all of this stuff, wants to know that they're seen for the person that they are. They're acknowledged and appreciated for the person that they are. And in the beauty industry, it's so easy to then focus on the external and the facade of what everything the glam and glory of everything external with the hair and the makeup and the fashion and all of this stuff. But then what's going on the inside? You know, are they sitting there and still feeling like I'm like a canvas, but you don't know anything about me? And that was something that I took a lot of pride in throughout all of these years, was that everyone who sat down to either be under my brushes or under my combs, or if I'm dressing them or shopping with them, that they knew that I was there for them to make them feel beautiful, not only look beautiful. You know, and it's for me, it's more so a great need to make sure that the internal feels beautiful as well as the external for me. And that's my goal and drive now after being in the industry for so long.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible, because, you know, part of the journey of the leap is we want people to connect that internal desire with an external action.
Yes.
And so, you know, when we think about the leap, how do you think your story has connected or connects with the people who are kind of sitting on the fence of their lives?
Well, I can tell you that being where I am now has been with many nights of crying on the sofa. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm trying to do so much, but I'm not seeing the results. And I've set goals. And one of the things that I will say is that it's good to have short-term goals, intermediate goals, and then your long-term goals. And check them off as you go. Don't have your goals so far up here that you can't acknowledge any of your growth and advancement in between. And it's a reward. You have to reward yourself for every step. Because I remember, I mean, in the industry, you hear a lot, whether it's in TV or the beauty or the fashion. Many promises are made that are never fulfilled by people who just get involved in the moment and just throw all of this great stuff, hopeful things out to you. And then it becomes so disappointing because you're on a mission. And so whether it's in the beauty industry or not, whatever you're going after, the disappointments can really throw you back. You know, when you have your hopes or you put faith into someone who says that they saw the idea that you have and think it's so great and wonderful and want to back you in this way, or you're hoping that the connections that you reach out to try and make, because they always recommend reach out to those people who are doing what you want to do.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, find a mentor, find a this, find a that. And those things are true, but the reality of it is that sometimes when you reach out to someone, they may not be as receptive as you're hoping.
That's
And
true.
because you have admiration or respect for this person, then that can become such a disappointment to you and sometimes throw you off your game completely. So it's something where it's just important to know that the goals are definitely important for you to write them down, make them plain,
Yeah.
so you can check them off as you go. And I had goals in the beginning where my initial goal is that I wanted to be a hair and makeup artist. I didn't want to be in the salon. So being a hair and makeup artist outside of the salon, which meant being on set, magazines, or, you know, whatever was out and about that had that type of energy in life was my goal. That goal was met, but it took a lot of work. I had to do a lot of work for free just to get my work and my name out there, and trusting and believing that my work would pay off and speak for itself. And so once that wheel started turning, where jobs started coming in, it was a huge blessing because some of these jobs actually started coming in from magazines, which is a huge goal for many people in the industry, as a hair stylist or a makeup artist that wants to get into that side of it. And one thing leads to another where you can check that off. Okay, then now what's the next goal? But there's fear. I mean, a lot of times motivational speakers, I'm a motivational speaker, you know, we say stuff, but I try to keep it very real, where a lot of times you can sit there because you're going to be motivated and inspired, and you can feel like, you know, that's a lot easier said than done. Like it's
Right.
so easy for someone to tell you this and tell you that. But then when you're battling with your own insecurities, your fear of failure, your fear of rejection, and just yourself,
Mhm.
you know, it's really a battle internally. Like you hear all of the great stuff and you know all of the stuff that you're supposed to say to yourself, all of your motivational things in the morning, your affirmations and all of these things. But then here comes the reality. And it's like, I'm still fighting with these things. How do I get past that? And so you have to acknowledge that it's there.
Yeah.
It's the acknowledgement, and you have to know that you got to walk yourself through it. Days when you're going to feel like, I'm not doing this. Why am I doing this? This is crazy. Why do I think I should be doing this?
And that's
Did I
real.
really hear from God?
Yeah. That's real. That's really real.
You know, and so that is just, and that I don't think that ever goes away, because again, all of those goals that I had when I was on this highway, I've achieved it. You know, I wanted to do magazines. I've done magazines. I've done covers of magazines. I've done TV. I've done, you know, a whole plethora of different categories of people. And through that is why it became so important for me to then now motivate people from the inside out, because I know how to do all the beauty stuff on the outside, but I discovered so much over the 20 years of working with people on how insecure people are inside, how sad they are, how much they have doubt. And some of the people that you would least expect are the most insecure people, you know, but they put the face on, they put their best foot forward, which is what we're supposed to do, what we're told to do. But then what's going on? No one's taking the time or interested to find out, are you okay on the inside? How can I address the issues on the inside? And that's my priority. That's my priority now, especially with the Skinny, my show. We talk about things like that because I want to get to the nitty gritty. It's not only about, you know, your blouse and, you know, the hair and the makeup. We talk about that on the show as well, but I want to build you. Let's talk about the things that's going to build you and help you get to that next place to meet up with everything out here.
Yeah, yeah.
You said that because I think that's so important. While you were talking, I jotted down beauty inside out. So to hear you talk about how you still have to deal with individuals, you know, we still have to deal with those thoughts, you know, back with ourselves. And even when you accomplish those goals and you start to move forward, then you have to deal with it on another level. So it's great to hear that acknowledgement and to let people know, like, this is the way it is. This is the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
But continue to work past it. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. It's I think it's time, and what's more of my drive now is to kind of get from behind the brushes, get from behind the scenes and behind the chair to start bringing more light to this, because when you see people from all walks of life and you see so many commonalities with the shatteredness on the inside, people feeling like I'm just like a robot. They want me to do this, they want me to do that, but they really don't care. You know, that whole thing of how you doing as you walk by the person, because you better
you really don't want to hear it.
I'm not stopping to hear you.
That's a real observation.
Do you really care? You know, the whole thing is that everybody's supposed to be, I'm good, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But who's really there to listen and to find out? And there's just different things that we have to deal with, different things that I still have to deal with and still dealing with right now, because with my show and with speaking engagements and doing these different things, it's now more about building women and men, building up the inside and helping them to know more about themselves and know and identify and know that they are seen, at least by me, they're seen. And that's where the blossoming comes from. Your beauty radiates from the inside out. And I know that for a fact, you know, so it's definitely tapping into those things and knowing that you have to believe in yourself more so than anyone else, even though we do need people, you know, but you also have to be able to talk yourself through the doubt. You want this goal, you want to take that leap, but you're like, but what if?
Yes.
But all of this stuff, you can't bear the idea of failing.
Yeah.
You know, or failing at another thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so that makes you not do it. You're like right there and you're like,
yeah.
Okay, wait, next week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make the phone call tomorrow, because you just can't bear that person either not responding or not turning out to be who you thought they were, or just realizing that you're sometimes in it alone, you know, and still pushing through. I mean, the new ventures that I'm on right now, I still have to do this. But what's great help for me is because I've done it before and I know it works. So that's why I can speak with passion that you are going to have those days. I'm definitely not going to tell you that, oh, you got to be strong. Yes, we got to be strong. But there's those days when we're not going to feel so strong, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Just know that you're not going to stay there, but allow yourself to be in a realistic space, because it's really easy to look out at people that have it together, or the people on their good days, and you're just figuring they don't have a bad day. You know, or how could they have a bad day, or why should they have a bad day, or a day of doubt or insecurity. But it's just realizing that that's just how it is across the board. The people with the most money still have such major insecurities, and I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's a good thing you said, and you realizing that you're not going to stay there. So that I like
allow yourself that moment, but just know it's just a moment.
Yeah. So SHAYZON, we're winding down, and what is one thing that you could say, like if you had one sentence to someone who is sitting on the fence about taking the leap, what would you say?
Do it.
Ooh, I love it.
That's it.
Do it.
You have to do it. Just do it, because you're going to feel so horrible. It's more horrible to live in the unknown and uncertainty and wondering what if I had, versus doing it, maybe stumbling, getting some bruises, hard knocks, realizing that you had more strength than you thought you did, and then grinding and making it.
Yes. Yeah.
Versus the alternative. Just do it. You have to do it.
So SHAYZON, before we go, tell us how we can find out more about you, the Skinny, all the work that you're doing. Tell us really quickly.
You can definitely find me on SHAYZON.com. I have a monthly newsletter that I send out. It's called Guide to Chikified. And you on SHAYZON.com, you can log in and add your name and email address. You can send me information, whether it's comments or if you have questions that you'd love for me to answer, you can do that on my website too. And that's SHAYZON, and that's Z as in zebra, ON as in Nancy.com, SHAYZON.com. And also on Instagram at SHAYZON. It's real simple.
I love your branding. SHAYZON everywhere.
Everywhere. And then my show, The Skinny, airs Friday mornings at 8 a.m. It's a new episode every Friday. And I do interviews, or I cover topics like March was, Women's History Month. So throughout that month, every show covered stuff for women, the strength of a woman. Are you a real woman? This term that so many people use, but it's actually questionable if it's meant as an insult or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so much, and we're so excited about the work that you're doing, and we're so excited that you are now a part of